How was your release?
What the fuck? Why are we gonna say it like that?
How was your like dump?
Bladder release.
My uncle just texted me. He said you censored your own content. Thank you.
I think even your uncle's roasting you.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
get boom roasted. Dude, how was your pee?
It was good.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
All right.
You missed a lot.
Okay.
Jeremy's a
we
god.
went somewhere else. He wasn't here to be enlightened. It is not our job to show him the way. Whoa!
You saw his face.
That would have been the worst thing you could ever do. Murder Jeremy like that.
Okay, but back to what we were
Do I
talking
have a little
about.
bit of facial hair? Oh, I do. I need to get rid of that.
Wow.
Sorry, please go on.
Okay. So, do you think we're gonna be the first ones to reach other life, or they're gonna be the first to reach us?
They're gonna be the first.
Well, it depends what kind of life we're talking about. You talking about intelligent life?
Yeah. It doesn't have to be on the same level as us, but like something that's advancing, like a civilization.
You want to hear something crazy? I think the real aliens are in the sea.
You're okay. So me and you have talked about this on our past show a bit.
Why I say this is because
God, I
only
fucking hate the
5%. Oh, me too. But why I say this? Only 5% of the freaking ocean been discovered. You know how much?
I think we're up to 8 actually now.
Is this an 8 now?
I don't know the numbers.
How do you track that?
Percentages?
No, but
Well,
how do you track?
we know how big the
I
ocean
saw
is. We
this
know how
part
much
of-
we've seen, more or less.
I guess.
Bro, only 5%. We're just gonna say 5% has been discovered. There's 100% gotta be more life.
say that.
Okay, I mean, put it this
God,
way.
I
Yeah,
hate the
Do
ocean.
you know where the most amount of UFO sightings are?
In the triangle, right?
Well, in the near oceans in general, but yes, there is a abnormal amount of UFO activity where the Bermuda Triangle essentially is.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the theories, many theories, is that
Aquaman's there.
of course,
Yes,
no,
godlike
that
powers.
that could be let's say an alien base or something. I mean, here's the thing: if you are an intelligent alien species and you want to hide, the best place to hide is the place that we don't only know 8% of, or I think it's under that, really. But yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
So wait, do you guys think that there's alien life like on planet Earth?
It's hard to say.
Well, apparently I saw this thing recently that scientists think that penguins might not be from Earth.
I saw that too. I saw that too.
Why?
and I'm
Why
like,
they think
So
that?
because there is like a substance inside of penguins that is not found on Earth, but is found on Venus.
Yeah, but there's no way they came from Venus.
Yes, totally could have happened.
What? How would they
You know,
have gotten
Venus
to
is like
Earth?
identical to Earth.
Yeah,
mean, like,
I know
it's a
that.
little
Do you-
different.
Do you
I've
want
read
to
that.
know
It's
how
like-
we were probably brought here or life here? Like,
No.
here we put it this way: in Earth, this is almost, I think this is fact. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone could tell me I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is actually fact.
Mm-hmm.
Earth is actually very late in its evolution for life.
Mm-hmm.
Like the planet was already fairly matured before life developed here. Is what I'm trying to say. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
What that probably means is that life was on a meteor or an asteroid or something that crashed into Earth, and then life, almost like how a flower pollinates on things to grow. That's probably how we were made. So penguins, for example, you say, how did they get from Venus to here?
A meteor?
Well, you realize that, like, at some point after the Earth and a bunch of other planets, the solar system was a lot more, was bigger, had a lot more things flying around. There was a lot of collisions. I don't think the moon's part of that. The moon was part of the Earth at one point. Another meteor crashed into Earth, got a big chunk of Earth came off that eventually became our moon.
But
Really?
Why
Yeah,
don't we
true
see
story.
that chunk of Earth like missing? That's what I've always
Ocean,
wondered.
brother.
Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the huge craters, though, they've discovered? They didn't realize were craters at first, though. Like, it's ridiculous when
On
you
the Earth or
Yeah, on Earth. Like okay, so there's this one picture we'd have to find it at some point, but it's literally like a valley, and everyone just thought like, oh, there's mountains here, it's a valley, until they one day got satellite technology and saw it from like space like that,
Man, the Earth
and
is
they
flat.
realize it's like, okay, we're not getting into
Yeah,
this
you say?
conversation.
No.
The Earth is flat.
What?
Thanks for watching, guys.
This is the end of the
Episode
episode.
3.
And the last episode.
Don't fuck with me right now.
You know, we talked about this.
Do you
No,
dead
do
ass
you
think that?
actually think that? There's
Yes.
no way.
Okay,
think that
I did about a 4-hour podcast
What?
just about flat Earth.
No
Shut
way.
the fuck up. Do
You
you
are
really?
not a flat earther. Branden, you are not this.
Oh my god.
Like,
I feel attacked.
Yeah.
Wait.
I want to hear you. I'm not gonna attack you. I want
What's
to hear
your
your thoughts.
reason?
Yeah, tell me.
What's
Talk
your
to me about
reason?
this. Bring it up. You.
Oh
listen,
my
man.
god.
You just in a. Yeah, go ahead.
You bring this up first. You bring this up an hour and 4 minutes up into this show. That should have been the first thing on the
Explain
first
the
episode. I'm a
horizon.
flat earther.
Are you?
No,
He's quoting you.
I'm quoting you.
Oh.
You don't have any friends like that in this car.
Damn.
Talk
Wait,
about it.
okay.
Tell us about
Explain the
this.
horizon. I just want to hear your
I don't know
explanation
what the
for.
fuck Horizon is.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh,
You're not educated enough
Bro, I'm
to make an
clowning you
argument.
guys.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
clowning
Thank
you guys.
God.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Yo, okay.
He's just saying this out of peer pressure. I really truthfully believe he's a secret flat earther.
I honestly, I'll be honest, never did like enough research to like care.
Okay.
But like I'm in this fucking earth.
Have you ever had a plane ride around the world?
Yeah. But okay, all the hurricanes and all the floods of water, why is if it was round it would just flow off? I'm so kidding, guys.
I did about a 4-hour long
really?
podcast breaking down one of those like major documentaries of flat Earth.
I bet if I want to get someone on this podcast that like,
I have a flat earther we could get on. I interviewed him on my other show.
But
I
it's
did.
just become a roast session.
No, it didn't. So I forget his name. I have to find it. It was a friend of Pasquale. You know
I was
Pasquale.
gonna say is
so me and my friend Pasquale, we do a podcast. We haven't done it in a while, but we're gonna bring it back. It's called Mysteries of the Unknown. It's a podcast. We talk about conspiracies. Literally, what we talk about.
Oh, that's cool.
So a couple times we've had this guest who's a flat earther. We've talked. I think his name is Steve. I could be wrong. We've talked to him a couple times where, obviously, I think very differently of him, but he does bring up his points, and I dismiss most of them, or I prove them wrong. You know what it is? Flat earthers have the same thing. Every flat earther thinks exactly the same way, where essentially a flat earthers will say, well, if I see it with my eyes like that, then it must be. It's like, if I can't see it with my own eyes, then it's not real.
But that's
not the way the
though.
world works.
That's
though.
how everything is, though. If you think about
Seeing
it.
is not believing.
But like, here's the thing: what they say. I'm not trying to get political, but they say that shit about everything.
No, you're right.
People could use their imagination. What I'm thinking of, but like, they say that shit with everything. Like, oh, I only believe when I see it. Like.
Yeah, because like his defense is like, oh, well, NASA went up and we did the Apollo missions. We talked a lot about that. So he's like,
I don't believe that we
like,
ever been in the moon. That I believe. That I believe. No.
We're making such good progress there.
No, I actually believe that like no one been in the fucking moon. I believe in that shit.
Branden,
No,
did you
like,
ever
I'm
watch? Did you ever watch the Christmas movies as a kid?
Yes, of course.
Seeing is not believing.
Why don't you believe it?
Okay, you see the.
I had an ex who didn't believe it either. I think Mr. Casper also doesn't. I'm not.
Well, let me ask you.
like-
Let me ask.
Me and Casper. I think me and Casper had a conversation.
Maybe he was just fucking with me once.
No, I think he brought that up in one of my classes.
Let me
he?
ask your scale of this though. Do you believe like the International Space Station's up in space and orbiting Earth, and we have astronauts up there? Do you believe that? Because let me tell you this one. As far as proof of that, you can literally see the ISS with your own
Yeah,
eyes.
that's up
I've
there.
seen it before.
Oh, really?
I'm
Not to mention my antenna that's on the roof.
God, you missing my freaking point. I'm not
Okay.
saying that no one been in the Earth or like out in space. I'm not saying that.
So you're saying we never been to the moon?
No, I'm saying the first person that went to the moon, that wasn't real.
Neil Armstrong.
Yes. I'm saying that landing wasn't real. I'm saying that landing wasn't real. Why I say this, if you look at the footage, why the frick is the fucking flag flying through the wind?
It's not. It's momentum
not,
from.
yeah,
It's
you know
momentum
when
from.
you move the flag. It
Yeah.
moves.
And there's no. And there's
Newton-
not. And there's no
Newton is-
resistance in space at all.
Newton
So
has
it's,
3 rules of gravity.
I don't believe in no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
an
I'm kidding.
I'm an
Whoa.
anti-graver.
well, part of the flat Earth movement is that you don't believe in gravity.
No.
No, I honestly don't believe that
That's your
So-
only argument is the flag?
flag. And they say there's no gravity in Earth, right?
What, on
Wait,
Earth?
Not Earth. I'm
No,
sorry,
there's,
sorry.
no, there's
There's
gravity.
gravity on
There's
the moon.
gravity. It's like 1/8 of the.
It's not as strong
I think
as
it's
Earth.
1/8 of the
Centripetal
gravity.
force, Branden. Centripetal force.
Bro, I don't. Bro, I just don't believe
Let
it.
me put it this way. You know how like you put like you know how you wobble a car antenna like if I went whew, 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 and it would wobble like that? we know what's stopping it here on Earth is the heavier gravity and also just the atmosphere. So, but
there's
in
air
space,
around it. There's resistance.
exactly. It's really the air. It slows
So
it down.
you
But
think there's a
well,
flag still in the moon?
Oh,
Yes.
well, it's white now because of the radiation, but
You think there's a freaking flag on the moon?
Correct.
there's several.
Bullshit. I don't believe it. I can't. Like,
Well,
I don't believe in that
Okay,
shit.
I'll put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
On the Apollo missions, they left reflectors on the moon. And they did this for a reason, so we could track and keep a track of how close the moon is to Earth. So what we do on Earth is we send little laser pointers. Well, they're big laser pointers, but for all intents and
Tiny
purposes,
little laser pointer.
they're laser pointers that we point at the moon, and it points the laser back, and we can track how the distance between us and the moon precisely with that.
Mm-hmm.
Those reflectors are there. That is very easily proven because you can do those tests here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have had to have gone to the moon to put those reflectors there.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand what the fuck was that? Oh, this car passed by. No, I'm not saying.
It's like the government's here to take you.
Yeah, they're like,
Take
let's
me.
talk about this.
But no, I'm just saying the first one, like the footage. I don't believe the footage.
Well, I will give you one
Can we
thing.
pull up an Adam Ruins Everything episode? Can we pull up Adam debunking all of these topics?
We'll do that after. We'll do that
I don't
after
think we
because
want-
I don't think we want to do that mid-podcast.
Well, I don't know if we. Well, we could just debunk it without
you
Adam.
don't,
Yeah,
you don't trust
exactly.
Adam.
Plus, I don't know if we
Sandler?
can bring Adam up. That might be a copyright.
God damn
thing.
it. I love Adam, by the way. Your show is great.
I will say I'm not a big fan of his show.
Are you not?
Well, he is very biased.
What do you mean?
He has a bias towards his point of views.
Though that is true, have you you know how he
Barnes.
leaves like sources and stuff in each of his videos?
Yeah.
Have you ever most people, I guarantee no one does this. I'm just fucking crazy. Have you ever followed any of the sources?
Me and you are very similar.
Okay,
in that
okay.
mine I have.
There, I mean,
But he does kind of pick. I've seen debunking videos of his videos that are very convincing.
he debunks his own videos.
Well, he's made mistakes. That best episode they did was the mistake episode.
That was a
good episode.
great episode, which further enforced my trust of his information due to the fact that he took responsibility for things that he was wrong about.
I will say, as far as the moon footage being faked, it is possible the original footage was faked, and I'll tell you why. Because we were so worried
The rush.
that we might not make it to the moon
And beat Russia.
and beat Russia, that it's very well possible.
That's the thing. That's why I'm saying the first landing. I'm not saying that we've never been up there. I'm not saying no one ever been in the what's
Ever
it
been
called?
to the moon? You
Space.
just
No,
don't think-
the space. I just think the first landing wasn't.
I'll say this much. And I've talked a lot about this on Mysteries of the Unknown. NASA in general and the government has not helped themselves throughout the years. Like, for example, the original footage of us going to the moon for the first time is gone. You know why it's gone? Because they taped over the tapes.
Because it's fake.
No, why did they tape over the tapes?
It's fake.
Conspiracy theorists will say because the tapes didn't exist to begin with or something. The real answer is they didn't mean to, but it was budget because they couldn't afford tape. Because NASA, after we got to the moon and after we did that, NASA's funding went from
Doesn't Elon Musk own
100
that shit?
No.
SpaceX,
SpaceX.
He owns his own thing.
independent space.
You own space. Did you know that? You own space just as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
You own the moon.
No, you don't
You
own. No, you
own
don't. You don't
the
own.
moon.
You
No
don't
one
own the
owns the
moon.
moon.
You could.
No one owns the moon. It's
It's
illegal.
You know,
It is-
Despicable Me
According to
taught
the
me.
United Nations, no one can own anything in space, which will have to change at some
which
point.
means we're all equally.
Wally, man. Everyone's
Yeah,
seen
wait.
Wally,
So
man.
did Gru commit a war crime then? Pretty much. By
Quite.
stealing the moon?
Gru would have caused a catastrophe on Earth
Would that
itself.
end the Earth without the moon? Or
No,
the
Earth
Well,
wouldn't end without the moon.
we would
but it
lose
would be
tides.
A disaster.
Right?
That might be the beginning of the end. I've
It
seen
would be a
YouTube
disaster.
I've seen YouTube videos where if moon just disappears.
We would
Devastating things happen over the course of many years.
ocean, its gravitational effect on us. It would be devastating.
We would stop the wobble. What we do,
So if the moon's part of the
Wobble.
freaking
well, the
was,
fact that we're
was
on an
part of the Earth,
angle. Part of that's
Oh.
because the moon is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we are kind of wobbling.
I believe
Earth has
it.
a wobble. It's not. We're not straight. We're
Earth
curved.
is not actually a perfect sphere. It's more like an egg shape.
That's because of the moon.
Quite.
It pulls on us.
I knew it was because of the poles. I didn't know it was I mean, I guess it makes sense why the moon would be involved.
So so the Earth's been around whatever, you know.
I think.
a certain
4.5
amount of
We're
billion years?
about mid-age right now.
Yeah.
We're at
So
this, yeah.
if
midlife
the
crisis.
moon, the
That is-
moon,
That's what's happening with global warming right now. It's like midlife crisis.
You onto something.
Sorry, what were you
Just
saying?
The
society.
moon. So the moon was part of the Earth. I didn't know that.
Well, part of it.
It's
Part of because Earth itself was a bunch of meteors that all came together and
So
everything.
I didn't know that.
We're all
I
space
just learned
junk.
that today.
Yep.
So I'm not saying it's true. I'm just thinking it. So how was the Earth, like what you were saying, like the pull, whatever, we would lose Earth if the moon wasn't around?
How would that happen?
How was it before the moon?
Well, there was no life. There was probably no water even at that point. It was just rock.
Imagine how devastating the blast must have been for the moon to come off of the Earth. If dinosaurs didn't survive like a meteor hitting us, or if dinosaurs didn't survive, etc. There's no way anything was alive on Earth when the moon separated.
There's like animation videos on YouTube. Go watch this. It's really interesting. But if something almost the size of the moon hit us, which is essentially what they believe happened. Actually, to get this straight, what they believe happened is when the solar system was very young. Earth was kind of a thing. It wasn't what we call Earth today, but it was a planet like essentially Earth that collided with another planet about the same size, which now made Earth. Part of the destruction of that became the moon. However, there could have been living creatures. But there could have been water. It could have been a beautiful planet before that happened. Probably wasn't, but it could have been. But the millisecond that those two planets collided, you're talking about this gigantic mass of two elements that, my mic got weird there.
Yeah, I heard that.
The second that happened, everything got vaporized on both of those planets. All the water immediately evaporated. Immediately because of the
Earth or like
both
whatever
was in the vicinity. Because you're talking about heat that is unimaginable. Like instant evaporation, instant death, instant everything. Anything that could have been alive, just gone.